There's this scene where the mom is complaining that the fiance, like, she cooks all this chicken. She's always cooking
Yeah.
chicken. And then
Yeah.
she
She
goes, she
goes, "What
goes,
about a burger?"
she goes, where are the cheeseburgers at?
Yep.
And my boyfriend and I
Yeah.
say that to each other all the time. Like, what do you want to eat? And we're like,
Like,
where
"Where
are
are
the
the
cheeseburgers at?
cheeseburgers?" Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Kim, nice to
Hi.
have you. Kim, I've always wanted to because you're so vocal on our in our Namaste meetings, which I really appreciate. But I'm always like, do I call you Kim or Kim On or
Yeah.
what do you go by and what should we call you?
So so I've always gone by just Kim because Kim-Anh is a mouthful as well for a lot of other people, you know. Growing up, it just turned into Kim. So Kim is fine. Kimmy, some people call me Kimmy just
Mhm.
because when my dad used to call me Kimmy Bear. So they kind of
Oh,
transferred over when I became a stepmom is to call me Kimmy. So yeah.
Cute,
oh,
cute.
oh, fantastic.
And that's Vietnamese, by the way. I'm half Vietnamese, so
Got it. Well, that leads us right
yes.
into our next question, which is we're always,
Okay.
all of us, we're such a diverse group at Namaste. We want to get to know our members better, and we don't want to make any assumptions about what anyone's connection is. So,
Right, right, right.
what is your connection to Namaste, and how would you describe your background or ethnicity, or how do you self-identify?
So, I identify myself as mixed. I
Hmm.
am, my mother is Vietnamese and my father is Caucasian. But yeah, I've always considered myself mixed if anyone ever asks
Hmm.
if there's any check boxes, I try to check them both if I possibly can. So,
I was gonna
um,
ask you that because as a fellow half Asian and half white person, if
yeah.
you have to check one box, which one do you check, or is it situational?
I think I just don't check any. If they
Yeah.
say you can only check one, I think in my life I've not checked anything because to me that's not a fair representation of who
Yeah.
I am. I would not feel comfortable doing that, you know? Like I wouldn't feel like true to myself if I had to pick one over the other. So, I
Isn't it
definitely
crazy
just don't pick.
how stressful like just that stupid
Yeah, just a simple
checkbox is?
question of like,
It's
what
like,
is your ethnicity?
and
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
listen, like this is a lot. Like I gotta
Yeah.
unpack a lot
Yeah.
of things. And
Exactly.
it's funny. Like I have, my two daughters, 3 and 6, are biracial, or I don't even know what the word is, but their
Yeah.
mom is
Biracial.
Caucasian, and I'm Japanese American, but I still carry full blood. So I'm like, I don't know. Like for me, like
Yeah.
I guess I kind of knew what to tick, and now for the kids, I'm like, ah, ah,
Yeah, in today's day and age though, I think you see more now where of course on paper you can pick whatever you want, but if you're on the think our culture became more, I will say Vietnamese oriented as we got older.
mhm,
My mom started introducing a lot more. So let me just tell you a little bit about my mom and me because
yeah,
this might help understand why it was later on in life that she kind of introduced it. Like we always had like Vietnamese food, but not really like how we have it now. You know what I mean? So when I was 2, my brother was maybe 6 months or 9 months old. We went back to Vietnam. This was right before um, the wall, the communist, the wall. I was in Germany too, guys. Sorry. So
right,
I was in Germany when the wall came down, so that's why that popped in my head. But anyway, before the communists took over in 1975. So we were there for like, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 months, something like that. And so I spoke Vietnamese. And then when we came back to the United States, I guess I guess I spoke to some people in Vietnamese and they didn't understand me, so I stopped talking.
Hmm.
So
mm-hmm,
everything I wanted, I just pointed. I was nonverbal, I guess, for a month at least.
mm-hmm,
And so when I started speaking again, I spoke English. So my mom was afraid to reintroduce Vietnamese to me because she didn't want me to stop talking again.
right.
So she stuck with English. So I kind of wonder, like, sometimes if maybe that pushed her to try to be more American? And I actually, that's a good question to ask my mom is, did that influence, or maybe because she was married to an American that she thought she had to be more American.
Sure.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep.
And another story to that is that when my parents first got married and they moved to the United States, because when I was born, we were in Vietnam for 6 months before, because I was born in Vietnam. So we were in Vietnam for 6 months before we came to the United States. So when my mom cooked dinner, she used to cook like all the fresh vegetables and the rice and, stuff like that, Asian style for herself. But then for my dad, she would like open up a can of green beans or,
Interesting.
all canned foods. And so one day, I guess he asked her because he was like, why are you eating that food and you're giving me stuff from the can? And she goes, well, isn't that what like American wives do? They
Huh.
cook this way. And so I wanted you to have what you want, what you're used to
Huh.
because you're American.
Huh.
I mean, that's considerate.
That's
Yeah, that's what she's
yeah.
trying,
Cooking twice. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
a lot.
So with that story, like maybe that's why she didn't do as much until later on, until she's more comfortable. I don't know. I
Yeah.
That's a good question, but
You get the crap
wow.
kicked out of me.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
All right, so peaking at time, I think we have to transition into career type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so career type stuff, Kim, want to tell us how you got to where you are now,
Uh,
and maybe where you'd like your career to go, and if there are any pivotal moments where you feel like your identity or your culture impacted your career path. Go ahead and share that with us too.
yeah, so this is the part where I was nervous about because and this is what I told Jim too. I was like, everything that's happened in my quote unquote career, I guess I can call it a career now, all happens on accident, really. So I didn't get my degree, and I got a degree in communications. This was in 2003. So it was 13 years after I graduated high school is when I actually got my degree. I had my son when I was 24, and so college kind of got put on hold, and so I was just working jobs, to make ends meet with the help of my parents who were very supportive while I when my son was very young, my oldest son. So it was a lot of just trying to improve and trying to get more money every single time. So the way I came to Great West Life and Annuity was my friend who's Hawaiian and Japanese, she was like, "Hey, we have a job opening in my department. You should apply for it." And I wasn't thinking anything about moving jobs. I was a payroll clerk. I lived in Boulder at the time and I was working in Broomfield. So I don't know that everything that's happened has always been because someone either recommended it or someone suggested it, or the reason why I actually am a manager now is because I didn't want someone from outside our department coming in and telling me what to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
If that's
Yeah.
I've been in this department for since 2011. So I just didn't want someone else to take that position. If anyone was going to tell me what to do, I'm like, "No, I need to tell me what to do?" So I don't know. I can't really pinpoint, like, is it something that my culture, maybe just my mom and her drive to always have better for herself and for us. The one thing she always said was, I don't care what job you have as long as you have an education, because no one can take that away from you. And maybe it stems from being in the Vietnam War, things were taken away. The communists took their property, they took this, they took that. So maybe that's where she gets that philosophy of, have your education, have your knowledge, have your, um, because no one can take that from you. They can take your property, they can take everything, but they can't take that from you.
Yeah, and I think that that representation is so important too. I mean, you came here because you had a part Asian friend who worked here.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, that's how we get them, right? And I was
Yeah.
thinking about using BRGs for referrals too. I just
Yeah.
know what a great resource we are to the company. And I mean, it sounds like you didn't really want to be a manager, but
No, I
doing
really
so good.
didn't. I really
Doing so
didn't.
good.
Yeah, and my senior manager, he's like, "Okay, well, I need, I want you to learn this about being a senior manager." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't want that. I am happy where I am." You did mention like where I want it to go in the future. I honestly am happy where I am right now. In the next 5 years, I don't see myself trying to be a senior manager or a director or anything like that. Of course things can change, but I'm very content with how my team runs and how we do things now. I think we're 46% minorities on my team.
Nice.
So something like we're very diverse,
That's
and I really
incredible.
love that about our department. And our like Friday meetings are kind of like just BS sessions. We will have like work stuff to talk about, but just so that we can get to know people, and if there's something going on, people can bring it up, or and when you say to use the BRG as like maybe even a stepping stone, maybe someone on another team is on the BRG and they go, "Oh, that department sounds cool.
Hmm.
Let's,
Right.
maybe I'm interested in that department." So
Right.
I try to encourage my team to join a BRG, any BRG. It doesn't have to be Namaste, but I do push Namaste.
Good.
As you
Um,
should.
but I encourage them to do that because it does open your eyes and it makes you more
More visibility.
visibility.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I
Yeah.
couldn't think of that word. Um, Visibility to other departments, other people, so that if you're not real happy in where you are, maybe there's somewhere else that sounds more appealing based on something that someone said in a BRG. So
Yeah. All right. So that brings us to, the theme of the
the
podcast, which is
theme.
why not you? And this is the part where Joe and I tell you some things that we think are wonderful about you based on everything that you've shared with us.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'm looking forward to this part.
I took a couple notes. I took a couple notes about just some of
Yeah.
your attributes that you shared that helped you.
When you learn to like observe and you learn to like understand the rhythm of what's happening,
Right.
and
Yep.
I think it makes you, if you do have a superpower, it's definitely that you empathize well. And just like the way you're talking, I want to help other people. Like it's almost instinctive, and it's not
Yeah.
forced. It's very, natural, and it comes from a place that's in line with who you are. And I think that's really cool. And I think that's, it is a superpower. I think not all of us get to have that. So
I love the way you put things sometimes, Joe.
Yeah, that's really nice. I do like superheroes too, so
Yeah. Thank you so much for being our guest today, Kim. It was great to spend some time with you and learn more about you.
thank
And
you.
we'll see you at the next event.
Awesome. I can't wait. Thank you guys for inviting me, and have a great rest of the day, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again.
awesome. Thanks so much, Kim.